what's been on my mind. Sick and tired of the 9 to 5 in the city light. Hey, darling, we could get out of town, see the beautiful world around, wanna see it now. Pack our bags and get in that car, leave a little note and we'll drive real far.
Hey guys, it's Tuesday morning. I had a really rough night, did not sleep much. My back is killing me, but CJ is finally seeing the neurologist up here at Integris. Little backstory, he's been having seizures, passing out, and having tics for about almost 4 years. 4 years next week. And the doctors that we were seeing just kept kind of blowing it off, and things have progressed and gotten worse. They've refused to do any testing other than the light test that they did. And we've been seeing them for almost 4 years and gotten nowhere. And so we decided to come up here to Integris and see a new doctor, and hopefully we'll get some answers and some help. So we've been waiting about 6 months for this appointment, so we did not want to miss it, even though I had a really rough night. So we're here, we're gonna get checked in and get some paperwork done. We have been at CJ's appointment since 9:30, and it is now almost 2. We're starving. We stopped at Big Truck Tacos and got lunch. I take Mika and Bubby here sometimes after their appointments. CJ never has appointments up this way, so it was his first time eating there, and he loved the food. He had tacos al pastor, I think, and then I had a roasted chicken taco with no pico and a lengua taco with queso fresco and avocado. We were at the doctor so long the other day, and then I had to come home, and I had a bunch of stuff that I needed to do here, and it just kind of snowballed the day, and I never got to give you guys an update on CJ's neurology appointment. If you have been following our channel for a while, then you know 4 years ago he started having issues with syncope and absent seizures. He's had one actual, like, physical seizure. He started developing motor tics, started with a tic in his lip, which was just kind of small, and it just kind of got more and more. And then he started having tics where with blinking and noises, and like he probably has 30 tics now, which the way they had described it to us, one is a tic, multiple becomes Tourette's. So technically he has Tourette's. We have been seeing a neurologist up at OU Children's for 4 years now. She did one test on him, and that was the light test where they flash a bunch of lights in his face and stuff and try to see which ones trigger brain waves and stuff. Other than that, she kept saying, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, we're going to do this, but then they never did anything. We go every 3 months. They push and pull on his hands, have him walking back and forth across the room, check his reflexes, things like that, but they never do anything. I can't stress enough how displeased I have been with his treatment, because I mean, every time I suggest anything, anytime I mention anything, she just kind of laughs at me and she's like, who's the doctor here? And I'm like, okay, but you're not doing your job. I mean, that's just me being honest. Like, it's just been a real struggle, because like I'm the advocate for my kids. I'm the one who's supposed to make sure they're getting the care they need. And this is supposedly the best children's hospital in our state. Supposedly. We don't enjoy them. I mean, I don't know how else to say that. My daughter has used OU for so long, because for a long time they were the only specialists that you could find that would see children with rheumatoid arthritis and Ehlers-Danlos and possible lupus. And so Mika has seen them since she was 2. And a couple years ago, her doctor left there and went to a different clinic and still sees children. So that's where Mika goes now, and that's where Bubba goes. And the level of care is so much different than it was at the giant hospital. that being said, it's kind of the same thing with CJ. It's like they say one thing, but then nobody does it. It's like, oh, so-and-so will do it. So-and-so, 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 so-and-so. Talk to so-and-so, they'll schedule it. And then I talk to them and they're like, oh no, so-and-so has to schedule it. And they're out for 2 weeks. Oh, so-and-so will do it. And it's just like, it's frustrating. And so last summer when CJ almost died and he quit breathing, he went to the ER by our house, and the doctor there said, I work at Baptist Children's part-time, and I work, here and then another hospital. And she said, if it was my child, I would take them to Baptist, but it's your child. So if you want him to go to Baptist, he can go there. If you don't, he can go to OU. Well, I never knew Baptist had a children's wing. And I was like, take him to Baptist because anything has to be better than OU. So they took him there. The level of care he got there was above and beyond. They took so much time to make sure he was comfortable, make sure the meds were working, make sure he was staying hydrated. They brought him video games. They brought him puzzles. They brought him art supplies. They would come in and preach. They would have, whatever he needed to be comfortable while he was there for 8 days. And I almost dropped my phone. It was just a completely different experience. And once we had been there, I was like, we don't need to go to OU for anything anymore. And I had asked one of the doctors there, how come I didn't know you guys even existed? And none of my family or friends knew you guys existed until CJ was here. And he said, well, we like to keep it small. We like to keep it that way. We don't want to become a giant children's hospital. And I was like, oh, well, that makes sense, So anyways, long story short, I ended up getting CJ's neurologist and his cardiologist transferred and got him new doctors up at Baptist, but it took a year to get in there. But again, at OU, it took, for Meeker to get in rheumatology, it took a 3-year wait. So, we're pretty used to waiting for children's specialists around here, unfortunately. Anyways, we saw the neurologist. I felt like it was a really good visit. He listened, he asked questions, he, kind of bounced things off of us, is this going on? Is that going on? Well, when this happens, does this happen? And we just had a really long discussion about CJ. And, he asked CJ how he was doing. He did a full, look over on CJ and checked everything out. And it really felt like he listened to us. He started CJ on a medication that should help his Tourette's, his absent seizures, and his migraines, as well as helping him sleep at night. Because it is pretty often that I go by and check on the kids at midnight, 2, 3, 5, whatever, every time I get up and down during the night. And CJ is sitting in his room drawing. And he always says he can't sleep. And then, of course, then he drags all day. And so, obviously sleep deprivation could have to do with some of his issues. So he put him on one medication he said should help all of those issues. And CJ started that. He said it seems to be helping the migraines a little bit, but that's all he can tell right now it's helping. But it is helping. And so we're hopeful that it continues to help. Right now he's on a half dose. Next week he goes up to a full dose, and we'll just have to kind of monitor and see how it goes. He has a test set up for a couple days after Christmas for an EEG, and then they're supposed to be calling for an MRI and scheduling that with us as well. So we're just waiting for these tests, waiting for answers. And right now I feel like we're in a good place because we're finally getting the test done. We're finally getting medication to help him after 4 years. And it's just been a long process to get to some answers, But all of that to say, we're getting somewhere, and hopefully it's somewhere good. But I just kind of wanted to give you a quick update and tell you guys about his appointment and how things turned out and where we were at with things, because I know that a lot of people go on journeys with their children and they don't have other people around who have been through those things. I certainly don't. My son's neurological issues are new to me. I had seizures from the time I was 16 till I was 24, and I still have absence seizures, but they've gone untreated. I've went to a few doctors. They kind of blew me off, and I just kind of, but they did eventually stop. Since then, I had one seizure when I had COVID, and I had a seizure the day I broke my back. But otherwise, since I was 24, so I'm going on 13 years where I've only had 2 seizures in 13 years. The one I had when I had COVID, I'm pretty sure was a grand mal seizure, because it took me a good week to recover from that one. But the one I had in the yard, I think was like 10 or 15 seconds, so not excessive. But anyways, as far as journeys for children, I know a lot of people don't have somebody around who has been through what they've been through. And so I wanted to share this because I want to kind of let people know that it can be hard, and advocating for your kids can be rough, because, you know, you want to believe a doctor has all of your best interest in mind, but honestly, at the end of the day, some of them just see you as like a patient, a number, a room to get done with. And so it's definitely hard to be a mother and have to advocate so hard to get something done for your kids. But we're getting there. I mean, it's progress, it's work, and we're trying, and that's all we can do. But I hope this video helps somebody out there. Bye.